All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well. Why not this truth from? And salutation out there to the hopeful elect who continue to push this word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And today, man, just basically getting on Esau coming forth with that wicked agenda, man, because we already know what this devil want to do. He want to mandate that thing, man. Let's go ahead and get the scripture everybody know, man. This is the book of Revelation 13 and verse 16. It says that he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So again, it says he causeth all. And how he's going to cause all through these different laws and legislations. And he's gradually doing it now, man. Whether it be in order for you to work here, you must have an updated vaccine. Whether it be you can't come inside this building unless you're 6 feet apart. Because best believe it's going to be a second pandemic. But at the same time, that's just these devils gradually pushing that plan, pushing forth a certain agenda. And again, what's that agenda? To mark everyone, man. To put a charagma, a tiny little device inside you and basically connect you to the internet, man. The Internet of Things, because in order for the Internet of Things to be completed, they must have people in it, man. You know? That's going to keep the Internet of Things running. But again, let's read this again. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it's not going to matter your whether you make four figures, 6 figures, 5 figures. You could be a 7-figure guy, man, and it's still going to be people who making over $1 million having a device inside them, man. Even these different senators, these different governors, I believe right now, certain of them already have that thing inside of them, man. That's why it says he calls all, no matter you a bum on the street or you live on top of the hills, these devils are going to try to force this thing upon you, man. You know? It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And again, you go into the word mark. That word mark actually goes back into what? The word charagma or charax, or something that's going to be implantable inside your skin. Continuing on in verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. This is nobody's going to be able to buy or sell unless you have that tiny device inside you. And again, 5 years ago, people can scoff at it. But now it makes much more sense as we come into this digital era, man. Where they said in December the 13th, you know, basically, they say if you're going to switch over to the CBDC, basically a digital system, man. And that's what these devils are trying to run. They fucked up the corner world, you know. They fucked up everything in corner. Now they have to go into a digital setting. That's why it's a big thing of the metaverse. It's a big thing of you know, you being online and creating a new character. You know, basically for the lack of better words, 2K. You know, it's guys that live and die for their 2K characters, man. A couple years ago, a girlfriend deleted her boyfriend 2K status or whatever, and he ended up beating the broad ass, man. You know, it's that deep. So imagine when people be fully invested into it. What I mean by fully, you fully connected to the internet, man. You know, whether you wake up, you have the VR set on, or whether you have a device inside your head while you can scroll on social media while you walking. This different type of technology is finna get ready to be released. It's been out there, but it's finna get ready to be released, man. And when it be released, it's gonna catch a lot of people on guard, man. They're gonna catch them with their pants down because, hey, for lack of better words, the technology that they're coming with, they're going to act like it's going to help you out, man. They're going to come from the angle as, you know, for lack of better words, make things more convenient. But the only thing that this device is going to be convenient for is your death, man. Let's go ahead and get this in the book of Sirach 12. This is the book of Sirach 12. And I'm going to jump down. Sirach 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So the scriptures right there said, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. One example that coming to my mind right now is the Tuskegee experiment. They went down there and gave people syphilis. And now, 70 years later, they try to come back with another device, man. But for the lack of better words, Jake never learned. Jake always want to be equal unto this devil instead of ruling over him. That's a rulership mentality, man. That's like the year before you got blown out for your homecoming, and the next year you want them to win again. No, man, you want your revenge. That's the spirit that we should be in. But Esau is not in their spirit. Why? Because they defeated, man. Jake is not in their spirit. Why? Because they is defeated. How is they defeated? Because they already trust in your enemy. If you're a boxer and you know this guy, he's trying to knock you out, you're not going to let him get no free shots. You're not going to let him get a couple shots in. No, man. You're going to fight to the death for the lack of battle words. But Jake don't have that mentality. Why? Because they love this devil. They love this society. Continuing on, it says, though he humbled himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Yes, man, because it's going to get to a point, he's going to come down humble. Hey, how you doing, brother? Blasey calling you his friend. This guy right here, buying you a couple drinks and things like that. But ultimately, it's a sinister device behind it. And that's the same thing with this MOTB. Now, real quick, I got this video queued up. It says, Biohackers explain why he turned his leg into a hotspot. So, it's plenty of ways that Esau can sell it. You want to wear this with no signal? It's okay. I have my hotspot in my leg. Scan it, the leg Wi-Fi 4563. But anyway, I'm gonna let the video play and I'm gonna get the scriptures again. Because again, these devils are going to try to push this forth as it's going to be beneficial unto you. But again, the only thing going to be beneficial unto is your death, man. No matter how smooth he say his words or how good it sounds, man. Because ultimately, it's going to be too good to be true. They're going to say you can get immortality through a device getting put inside your body. But guess what, man? That immortality is going to have to be played on a digital scale. Or let's say the immortality isn't one thing they got. They say give you live to you like 200 or 300 years old. Let's say you do that. When you get 300, what you gonna do then? So these the answers that Esau don't have, man. But at the same time, they're gonna try to push forth this basically unholy type of way of life, man.
How to upload files directly to our brains. The biohackers are finding new ways to use technology to change human bodies and push the limits of what's possible. From implants that extend our vision to chips that let us open doors.
And right there, man, brothers can see what's going on. But real quick, play the video back. Let's get this word hackers, because it says biohackers, man. And right there, they ain't trying to just hack your body. They actually is trying to hack your spirit, man. Send different waves unto you. So let's read this real quick. Hack, the verb number 2. It says illegally enter a computer system. And again, why is these biohackers, trying to hack you with a tiny device? Because ultimately they're trying to hack your spirit, man. Continuing on. Let's go into the word hacker. They're going to say the same thing. Hacker, going down here to this, it says one who gains unauthorized access to computer records. So they're trying to gain access into your spirit, man. They try to gain access unto you for the lack of better words. Because as soon as you have that Neuralink thing in your head, or that RCH hip, that C hip inside your body, then ultimately these devils, they have authority over you, man. Now they got your banking account information. Now they got your blood pressure. Now they got your heartbeat. How many breaths you take, a minute. How many steps you walk, man. Your cholesterol, all these things, these devils want to have dibs on, man. But for the lack of better words, that's not in the will of the Most High. It's Yahweh Shemel Shah who have all those things monitored, not Esau. But this devil, being the proud guy he is, he's trying to play the Most High, man. But the Lord is going to show this devil to be nothing but a motherfucking man, bro. Because at the end of the day, man, these devils are actually trying to rule the universe in wickedness, man. You know, they're trying to rule the planet Earth in wickedness, man. Because let's say if everybody get that chip, it's a movie came back like in the late 1920s, the early 1930s. It was called Metropolis, man. And basically, when you look at these different dystopian films, hey, everybody got the chip, and ultimately everybody depressed. And because all these dystopian films be the same, everybody got the chip, and everybody depressed. But this always going to be a couple people, a few remnant who refused it, or who's trying to throw down that system. And that's us today, man. Let's go ahead and get these in the book of Ezekiel real quick, though. This is the book of Ezekiel 21. No, that ain't it. Salakia. Ezekiel 28. Salakia. My bad. This is the book of Ezekiel. Yep. Ezekiel 28. And I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, Son of man, say to the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord, because that's talking about Esau today, man. It says, thus saith the Lord, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power. And how do they say they're the power? How do they say they're the Most High? Just look at the picture of Chesway Borgier, man. Or who you call ignorantly Jesus Christ, man. You know, that's a part of you saying that you're God. It says, I sit in the seat of the Most High in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man. Yes, because even though you rule in these different nations, doesn't mean you a God, man. You can still be touched, Esau. Continuing on, though. It says, yet thou art a man and not the Most High, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Yes, man. Even though you set your heart as the heart of the Most High or whatever, at the end of the day, don't mean that you Yahweh Shemel Shah. The Lord is going to bring these devils down into a realization, and they're going to know they can't defeat the Almighty Al-Ashajah, man. They know they can't defeat our power, man. You know, Allahaya now, you know. Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Psalms 9 and verse 20. It says, matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 19. It says, arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. And what does that mean? Let like these devils prevail with their NWO. That new world order wicked system, you know? It says, let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord. And that's why these devils pushing forth this different type of devices, man. Because ultimately, they don't fear the Lord. These biohackers, these so-called quote-unquote cyborgs, they don't fear Yahweh Shemel Shah. That's why they following that way of life. It says, put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. And that's what the Lord is finna get ready to do. A celestial, a divine, heavenly body is going to come down and destroy this wicked man, Esau Edom, man. You know? So let's go ahead and go back into this video and play it out. Bag it up. And look at that weird shit, man. You could tell even how these different things shape and how they look. You could tell they're not supposed to be in a human body.
Hackers are finding new ways to use technology to change human bodies and push the limits of what's possible. From implants that extend our vision to chips that let us open doors. A device called PegLeg is a new frontier of privacy, storing and transferring data in the human body, but only if you can stomach a 30-minute operation. We spoke with Michael Lawfer, the biohacker and one of the creators of this new device. What do you have in your leg?
I have a 0.5 terabyte pirate server that's open access.
So where did the idea from this come?
When the internet first started, when I was a little kid.
Now, if you missed it, this nigga got a Wi-Fi hotspot in his fucking calf muscle, man. Don't play it. And again, what makes you think of that, man? In the internet, again, why you can't enjoy nature, man? And that's the thing that these Babylonians push, man. You gotta always have your phone, always be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's the way of life that these devils pushing, that digital way of life.
There was so much promise. We all hoped that And we believed. We didn't just hope, but we believed that it was going to be this thing that set us all free, and it was going to fix so many things because it was going to be impossible to manipulate, impossible to censor, impossible to surveil. As we've seen, all of those things have turned out to be false. We see that surveillance is happening just about everywhere, from just about everywhere they can afford it.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about what the peg leg is and how it works?
The basis for it is a Raspberry Pi 0W. So,
and right, you see how he just skipped the question for real, but he said everything is getting tracked, man. Everybody can afford it, and if you got that C hip inside you, that means they can afford you now, man. You know, I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead.
It has Wi-Fi built.
Oh, there you go. Hold on, so long.
Built in, Raspberry Pi 0W. So it has Wi-Fi built in. There's an antenna built into the PCB. Here is where you have your micro SD card that holds the software and is also the data repository. This one's just 16 gigs. Mine's 512. This unit here is a second Wi-Fi card. This allows for it to communicate to other peg legs. That's the mesh part of the network. On the back, we have the coil that allows it to accept power. This is the power management circuitry. And then this is a capacitor that acts as a power buffer that allows fluctuations in input.
When you hold a...
And one thing about that he didn't mention about that copper power, actually your body heat is going to be powering these different devices, man. You know?
Battery to peg leg, it creates the network that anyone who has a internet enabled device can then connect to.
Right, so it's like a Wi-Fi hotspot in that way. Whatever you have, you just look for Wi-Fi networks and peg leg will come up and you click on it and then the splash screen.
But it's not connected to the regular internet, right?
Right. When we have a local area network, then all of us in this room can connect to it and can talk, but nobody's going to be able to surveil that unless they're here. And again, everything's anonymous, so how would you know who's saying what anyway? So go ahead and turn your Wi-Fi on.
And right there, these devils, yeah, they can't track us if we got our own Wi-Fi. And again, that's gonna push a lot of people, even a lot of red pill people who believe in the conspiracy theories and things like that. Because it's one guy, I used to work with Luck Edomite. Like he was into like Russia, Ukraine, and stuff like that. But he also was into like flying cars and self-driving cars. You just see how the way he talked. You can see he's already prepped to take that thing, man. And again, they're going to push it forth as you're anonymous. This is a blockchain that nobody have access to. But guess who's going to have access to it? The elites, man. And that's why you should not believe the things that the wicked say, man. This right here, this is the book of Sirach 14 to verse 7. And if he do it good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he would declare his wickedness. Because ultimately, you think that you're untrackable, but it's a damn Wi-Fi hotspot on you, man. And again, your name is a biohacker. You don't think nobody can just hack that little chip that you have inside your body? You don't think, and then for lack of better words, every internet access or every Wi-Fi access is ran through a damn satellite. So even though they say it's going to be anonymous, they can still have a precise location with that anonymous person have sent it from, man. So either way you go, man, either way these devils try to flip it, hey, it's still the MOTB, man. You shouldn't take it, because if you do, you're basically pledging your allegiance to the beast, man, to the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Let's get this one last precept and close it up, because that was about it on that, man. Because really, at the end of the day, half of that video, this guy, he's trying to push forth the positive things about it. But it was one point in the video, he said during that 30-minute surgery, he passed out, man. It took 30 minutes. They had to cut over his skin and make a hole and put the chip inside of him and close it up while he was awake. And at the end of the day, the only thing he got to speak for is, I got Wi-Fi now, and what you gonna do when an EMP attack happens, man? What you gonna do when the internet servers turn off, man? Is that tiny device still gonna be worth it? Let's get this in Isaiah 36:6. Though thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. And right there, man, it says, Lo, thou trustest in this staff of this broken reed. You trust in this broken system, this wicked system of Edom, this wicked system of bondage. Because you having that chip inside you, it's a tag of slavery. That's why it says on Egypt, or on if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. Now that's talking about you leaning upon this system. And ultimately, if you trust in this system so much, it's going to get to a point when this system is going to want your commitment. And how it's going to want your commitment, it's not going to be I do. No, it's going to be a physical all going inside your hand, man. Continuing on. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. Because again, you have that sea hip inside you. That don't mean that you praise the Yahweh Shema Shai. No, that means you're praising Esau Edom. You praising Ashashwa. The way the other way is he the dead, man. But yeah, just a quick little video. I pray it was edifying. Just know, man, don't take that thing, because even though they're gonna try to push forth certain dainties that come with it, those dainties ain't worth shit, man. So yeah, I pray this video was edifying. I want to say, Call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakha Kodash Shalom DTA.